Um, well, okay, so welcome to those who have joined my channel tonight. Sorry I'm late. It's because I'm Mexican or native or whatever. Sometimes we have that running joke when we're late for things. It's like, oh, we're sorry I'm late. I'm Mexican. We had to push things out for an hour because some things we had to do today. So this is Joey. He's joining my channel because we have our Punk's Not Dead story time, ghost and grave hunting for Joey Ramone story. So, okay. Before I get into it, usually I say, hello, hola, ¿qué pasa? My name is Whitney Modesta Guiasa, and you are here in my conjuring corner where I do art, makeup, and tell tales of horror and folklore. Well, and adding some things here where I start to not only incorporate my art into the stories I tell, I'm starting to collaborate with people who have their own stories, if they're ghostly encounters or ghost stories or favorite things about their own cryptids or folklores or anything, all in their interests in those departments to talk about. And so this is a pretty special episode because this is something that Joey and I got to do together. We went to a place that we've always wanted to go to, and why? It's because it's Joey Ramone's grave. What was his real name other than his stage name?
Oh, he was Jeffrey Hyman.
Jeffrey Hyman. He was a legendary punk rock musician. And we chose to visit the Ramones singer, especially on the day that we went because we were celebrating this Joey, his birthday. So we went the day before your birthday,
Yes.
was that right? Yeah. So we took a trip to go visit this musician at his grave. For those who don't know who Joey Ramone was, before he was a musician in this band, the Ramones, he started a glam punk band called Sniper that ran from 1972 to 1974. And after that band had disbanded, he had co-founded the Ramones, which ran from 1974 to 1996. And that band is one of the most influential rock bands, punk rock bands to have ever existed. They played over 2,263 concerts in over 22 years.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's a lot of concerts.
But from you, before we really talk about our experiences, we want to talk a little bit about Joey Ramone and the band. So what bands do you think wouldn't have existed without the Ramones?
I mean, most punk rock bands, like Green Day, probably.
We're not making fun, but yeah,
But yeah,
Green Day wouldn't
Green Day.
exist.
Well, Joey Ramone used to say Green Day, Offspring, Pearl Jam, bands like
But
that.
I'm talking about,
helped
like,
inspire them. So
The ones that were from that era, from that wave, like the British bands, for example, like the British punk wave, like they were influenced
yes,
by the Ramones.
On the Sex Pistols.
Yeah,
the
and
Clash.
the Clash. Yeah,
Yeah.
so an American punk rock band, punk musician inspired European musicians, and they did a whole subgenre of music that people celebrated from the 70s up until to this day. So that's why I say the title Punk's Not Dead, and we'll kind of talk a little bit more on that title later. But as far as the band is concerned and Joey Ramone's songs, do you want to say what you think were the most popular songs?
Well, just the first one, the self-titled album, that kind of got everything started.
Oh, the albums, yes.
There was Road to Ruin, that was
Ruin.
one of their best.
And Rocket to Russia,
End of the Century.
and Century, and Pleasant Dreams.
Pleasant Dreams.
And the songs that were super influential popular, I guess, was Blitzkrieg Bop.
Blitzkrieg Bop.
Uh-huh.
I Want to Be Sedated.
Pet Cemetery.
A whole load of songs.
Something to Believe in. And then
I Believe in Miracles.
I Believe in Miracles. And then I Can't Make It on Time.
Make It.
Because I was like, I thought maybe we were going to be like pretty late. I had to schedule this for 9, not 8. Sorry. And there were a couple of films.
Yep, Rock and Roll High School.
Rock and Roll High School. They did act in that.
Yeah, we found out that mice explode when they hear the Ramones.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then they had the song Pet Cemetery for the film Pet Cemetery. So Joey Ramone was, we felt, was legendary. He was an icon. He's done he was a big part of punk, like I said, that American musician inspired even British punk. So, and I just saw a comment. Oh, hi Laura, thanks for joining. So, we'll talk a little bit here about him some more and about our experience. We'll mention his experience after we're done talking about the musician first, for those who don't know who he was or is. But Joey Ramone, aka Jeff Hyman, he was born on May 19th of 1951 in Forest Hills, New York, and that's in Queens, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Queens is pretty big though, so. But yeah, Forest Hills.
Forest Hills, Queens.
So he's kind of from New York, from this Joey's neck of the woods, sort of.
Kind of Queens.
He's a Queens
New
guy
York.
too. So, and he passed away on April 15th of 2001 at Presbyterian Hospital in New York.
1 month before his 50th birthday.
1 month before his 50th birthday. He passed pretty young,
Yeah,
we
49.
feel. He had lymphoma cancer. And it was reported, because he was someone that loved music so much, that he had passed listening to the band U2. What was the name of the song?
In a Little While.
In a Little While.
That was the last song they said he listened to before he passed.
But yeah, so he had, I have notes here to kind of help us as a guide. I usually have notes in most lives, like I kind of have some stuff behind here, but now I'm holding on to some here. But yes, so this is the man, the legend, as we say, that we decided to go visit his grave. So, you want to talk about the commute a little bit, how you felt about it?
It wasn't that hard to get to. We went to the Port Authority in Manhattan, took one of the buses there. It was about 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, it didn't feel long.
No.
It didn't feel long of a ride.
They didn't really announce the stops, though.
Yeah, that's
Because
the
I think
one
we
thing.
were the second stop, and we were kind of like, "Oh, this is us."
Oh, this is us,
we
yeah.
gotta get off this thing.
Because if we just kept, chit-chatting or just kind of, you have to pay attention to your stops going to these places, like from New York to New Jersey. If you're on the bus, you got to pay attention. Because you don't know if your bus could stop for a moment and then, like, you could miss it until you can go to the next stop. So, but then when we got off the bus, we had a little bit of a walk.
It's
like-
a walk, yeah.
It was,
'Cause it's a big cemetery, and you gotta walk past the cemetery
yeah,
to get to the main entrance on the other side.
yeah.
So
So,
it's quite a walk.
maybe under 30 minutes
Altogether, yeah.
altogether to
The
get
walk
there
of-
from the
The
walk.
walk itself is probably about 10 minutes, so.
Maybe, yeah. But, so we went to Lyndhurst, New Jersey, and where Joey Ramone is buried is at New Mount Zion Cemetery, Hillside Cemetery. It's, I don't know why they have the two names. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But
I think that maybe the Mount Zion Cemetery was the original name, and now
Was
it's
it?
Hillside Cemetery.
But
I
there's the
could
two
be wrong
names
about
on the
that.
sign.
But yeah, I was always confused why there was two names for it.
But yeah, when we were coming up on it, oh, okay, sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, can you guys hear us now? Because I had an incoming call and that's what interrupted. So if anyone can hear us, type yes in the chat. Okay, great. Thank you, Phil.
Hey, hi, Phil.
Yes. So what was I saying? What were we saying? It was about Mount Zion. And yeah, Mount Zion. We're not sure why they had two names, but it's two names on the sign once we reach the cemetery.
Yes.
So it's called New Mount Zion and Hillside Cemetery. It's a really big cemetery,
It was big.
though.
It was really big, yes.
But I remember some of the landmarks. Like, not so much. It was Rutherford Avenue. Was where a diner was. It was called the Colonial Diner, and across from the street of Rutherford Avenue was the cemetery, and then the diner.
Yes.
So that was a landmark that we could remember. Also, I mean, it's a place that you could, if anyone wanted to visit this cemetery, remember Rutherford Avenue, and that there's a diner called Colonial Diner.
And you can't miss the cemetery.
No, you can't miss the cemetery. It's big.
You'll see it from the bus if you end up passing it.
Yeah. When we got into the cemetery, we got a little.
We got a little lost, yeah. We watch videos on YouTube on how to find it.
Yeah.
And some of them are pretty helpful, but when you actually get there in person, it's much different to do it. In most videos and pictures, you could see that there's a nice shot of the New York skyline visible from his grave. So basically, we used the New York skyline as a guide to help us navigate the rest of it.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was, there was a hill, like, because when we ended up, because the ground seemed pretty level from the most part from the entrance, but then we realized we were going, uphill?
We were going uphill.
For a little bit?
Yeah.
And we just kept going straight for a while.
We went straight and we couldn't find it.
And we couldn't find it, yeah. So we ended up
backtracking
a little bit, and then something, I thought, okay, well, maybe if we just kept turning right and right, because we were trying to follow that skyline. But then, I don't know, there was something in me that was like, well, maybe I should just keep going right. Just keep going to my right. And then finally, like, I had something in me or something telling me, like, look right. And then finally, just no joke, like, I looked right, and then
and there he was.
that headstone was right there as soon as, because we were walking that path.
Yeah.
And then I was like, something in me was like, look right. And I'm like, Joey, look.
Yeah, there he is.
There it is.
Well, they have, I think they're called gates.
Yes.
It's like these stones, two stones up and then one on the bottom, and they all have names on them. And he was in the New York Social Club. So the gates are helpful if you know how to look for them. That would be a big help finding them too.
That was another thing that I had a big memory of when we were trying to find it, was like, well, I knew we needed to look for these gates.
Yeah.
But
and there's quite a few of them too. It's not like one recognizable one. There's several in there, so.
But the New York Social Club is the one that was the one that you needed to. You're on the path on this, like this not gravel. It's what's the word I'm looking for? I'm a little brain foggy right now.
It was like a walking stone path, maybe.
Cemented path.
Cemented, yes.
So
okay.
to get to, and then like when you go in that path, pavement. Yes. There you go.
Pavement,
Thank
yes,
you.
there we go.
No, I'm my brain's not braining right now. That's not
fine.
good. No, so anyway, yes, the pavement, and then we went into that gate. Which is like a stone gate, and it says New York Social Club on there. And so we followed that path directly and going.
He was like 3 rows back.
3 rows. Yeah, it was weird because I was like, we didn't even see it. That gate was ahead, and then like, look, that was weird.
We did. We saw it from the
distance.
From the pavement street we were walking.
Yeah, I was like.
We still went through the gate though, because we thought it'd be cool to walk through the gate.
Yeah, no, it definitely, we definitely felt that way.
To him.
But no, it was kind of cold Like, I will say, when we were going that day.
It was cold when we got closer to him.
Yeah,
yes.
that
like,
was...
the closer we got to his grave, the chillier it got, which
it
was
did.
weird.
What's interesting is that, like, I don't know how you guys feel, like, if you've ever, like, frequented cemeteries, but the air is always different. As far as it's cooler, it's colder, like the air, like it's more open, you know, I guess that's part of the reason. Windy, it was definitely cold and windy once we got in there. And what was interesting was like, how did you feel approaching it, like emotionally? Physically, we were cold and...
Cold. I mean, it was a nice moment. It almost felt like we were actually meeting Joey Ramone a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the closest thing you could do to meeting
closest.
Joey Ramone at that point.
Like, was it almost like, I almost had a little bit of a fangirl moment. I was like, oh,
yeah, it was like, there he is. It's Joey.
Yeah.
like,
but it
damn,
felt...
hi Joey.
Yeah, right. I was like, oh,
I think those are my exact words. Hi Joey.
Yes, it was. Those were your exact words. Because we were approaching... The closer we got to the grave, the more we were like, oh my gosh, this is it.
Like I geeked out.
Yeah, I did too. It was like, wow, this is a strange feeling. I don't know. I don't know if any of you have visited famous graves or anything, but it's a strange feeling in general, but it's like kind of surreal. See, I visited in Corpus Christi, Texas. I went and I visited Selena Quintanilla Perez. Like, I visited her grave. And I might talk about that a little bit more here one day. But for now, this is about Joey Ramone. From what you told me, I am glad that his spirit was at peace. Oh, thank you, Laura. Yeah, I'm going to mention some of this stuff. It's pretty interesting. I mean, it just depends, you know, who you are, what you're into, how you feel connected to this kind of thing, you know? And we're going to talk a little bit about how we feel connected. But we definitely connected when we started approaching more, because I love the feeling I get when I see offerings, like the things that people leave, and he had
so many. Yeah, he definitely was never forgotten. Joey.
No,
he
oh
had
my
a lot
God!
of stuff.
Like, what was some of the impressionable?
And it looks like if you look at past videos,
Yeah.
it looks like there's a bunch of different stuff from what we. So it looks like it gets cleaned and
it does.
new stuff is getting added to it probably.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of stuff on his top and the bottoms.
Like, what was the thing about his grave? Like, some of those offerings. Like, what were some of those offerings that stood out to you?
The guitar picks I thought were really nice.
Yeah, like
someone painted a rock that looked like his white and red T-shirt with the black leather vest over it, and then his name was on the back, Joey. I thought that was a really nice one.
It was beautiful. Which ones did you feel more connected to? Like, which of those offerings felt like spoke to you
I
the
think
most?
the rock.
The rock?
The rock, because of the painting on it. You know, we do art stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess the artsy ones kind of.
Yeah, same here. I feel the same way about how he feels about seeing the more creative offerings. And speaking of creative, Joey left some offerings. What were some of yours?
I left little skull erasers that I use once in a while. I think it was a red one and a black one to match the red and black thing.
Yeah. Because Joey here, he's an artist, and he does some great pencil sketch artwork.
Oh, thank you.
And we ended up bringing one of his pieces of work with him and took a picture because he did a marvelous sketch of Joey Ramone. So we brought that with us. I left an offering of some of my sunglasses. I just left sunglasses for Joey Ramone because that was kind of a signature look for
his
him.
sunglasses. Yeah,
having sunglasses.
Well, he probably had one of the most.
He had some other sunglasses too.
Like as far as he probably had one of the most iconic looks.
He did.
You know who he is.
Yeah, definitely.
Like even people who don't know who he is will see him and be like, "Oh, I know him."
Hi, Mom. My mom's watching. So, but back to your drawing though.
Yes.
How did you feel bringing that drawing and taking a picture?
It was cool. It was cool. I mean, it was special. It was nice.
Do you feel like, in a way, you showed it to him?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It would have been cool if I could have left like a little sketch or something behind. I didn't think of that in the moment, but that would have been neat.
No, I know. In a way, idea is cool, but also I don't want you to like let anything get ruined.
Well, that one
like
was too big anyway. That
too big.
That way that would have lasted too long. It would have blew away.
Yeah, exactly.
It would have been somewhere in Jersey.
Somewhere in
flipping
Jersey.
around.
But so do you want to talk about how you felt connected, like communicating, like some of the stuff we used?
Yeah, sure. So we tried doing the EVPs.
Yeah.
Where we asked questions and recorded it.
Yeah.
And had to play them back to see if you hear anything that the ear doesn't pick up.
Yeah, for people that don't know what an EVP is, it's called it was electronic voice phenomena.
Mm-hmm.
Some people believe like if you take a recorder or something and you start like using a recorder, sometimes like something else, or rather someone else could communicate back and answer whatever questions or talk or whatever. But no, we didn't. In the end, we didn't have any results from
Yeah, no,
that.
I think we asked several questions, but we didn't hear nothing back.
Yeah.
That's okay, though.
That's okay. But what we did do was we did this one little experiment, which I don't know if it's coincidence or if it did feel kind of funky, I will say.
It did.
Was there have been some rare occasions where people would use like a piece of paper or like a dollar bill or a piece of paper, and then you kind of hold it up straight or whatever. And then wherever the wind goes, you do like, if you ask or say something yes or no question, if you ask a yes or no question, then the no needs to go left, the right needs to be yes. And then you had this one question when you had held the bill, it was like something about a spot.
We asked if he liked his final spot and the view of the city and stuff. Mm-hmm. And the wind blew it up. It was crazy.
Right. That was like coincidence, or was that?
I mean, if they were pretty strong coincidences.
Those are pretty.
a lot of the stuff. A lot of stuff almost tied in exactly to what he would have said. Yeah.
And then I ended up asking, like, do you hate pizza? Because evidently he was like a big fan of the food, and like his favorite thing was pizza and beer, like
beer and pizza,
yeah, or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then like it went like a hard left and pushed
left.
and like pushed down even on the bill. It was like left. It was already kind of like tilted.
Yeah,
a little bit. It was folded a little bit, but then it just kind of like bent down.
It is like,
no, don't hate pizza. I don't know, whatever. And then I asked him like, are you happy that we came to visit you? And then like the bill kind of went.
It rose.
Yeah, it was like, it's like, well, if that's not a coincidence, then that felt good.
But yeah, that was a nice feeling, yeah.
But it was a nice feeling.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
If that was you, thank you.
And then, and then because I felt like when we were approaching prior to this experiment, like walking in and then I was like I said something made me feel like, oh, look right. I'm like, oh, look, it's right there. And I was like, was that you that made us look right?
And it blew again, yeah.
Is this Joey's first time connecting with a spirit? What do you think? Is this your first time feeling like you've connected with someone?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I might have in the past and not have noticed.
Yeah. Well, you've said you've had some personal stuff about your grandfather.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, maybe that could be for another time to talk about. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely we could come back for talk about Bobby.
Yeah. But no, like when I asked, like, was that you that made me look right? Or, yeah, it kind of, the wind blew a little again to the right with that paper of money.
Well, I will say it's definitely the first time experimenting.
It was the first time experimenting with that. So it was
experience is kind of experimenting. Yes,
experimenting's different.
Yeah.
Yes, it's different. First time experimenting with something communication-wise.
Yeah, I never really tried to talk or reach out like that before.
But,
so yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I like that you've made the differ of the two. And then I was like, and then we just kind of started to wrap things up.
Oh, we asked if he was proud to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
You did.
Which,
You asked him that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it went up again.
It did.
Which I think he would have been proud of that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people say that was something that excited him.
Yeah.
The idea of going in.
And then what was that you were saying to me earlier about how he felt about his fans and people like How did he feel about approaching his fans and people?
A lot of people said he was just a nice guy.
Like, he was approachable.
He was
friendly.
approachable. Yeah, one of the guys.
One of the guys.
If you saw him at like a concert, he didn't make a big to do like that. He was there. He would just hang out with you.
Just friendly. Just treat you like a friend.
Yeah, just like a regular guy. They said he wasn't. Yeah, nice dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have never heard of the dollar bill experiment before, but that is a good idea. I like that. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not gonna say it is or it isn't like proof, but hey, I mean, it's a fun little experiment, and we were like, ooh, this is interesting. You know, it was a first for us.
Yeah, it was neat.
It was neat. And then
we asked about a picnic. Should we come back and picnic with you? And we said we'll bring beer and pizza, jokingly. And then that bill went like almost straight in the air.
That was kind of cool. Some of these we did record like with a couple of videos. Not all of these questions made it on a little video. At some point I'll upload those, but I'll talk about that in a little while. But
so the dollar building did have a lot of fun coincidences that would have mimicked what he might have responded to us.
Yeah.
So that was
How
cool.
long do you think we stayed visiting for? Like almost an hour, but more like 40-something minutes?
Maybe 40, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I think we wanted to stay longer, but the cold.
It just got cold.
It was really getting colder as we stood there. Yeah.
And an intention that we had, what we wanted to do is to try to do a little bit of like intuitive art, but it was so cold to do any sort of drawing.
Cold,
But we couldn't. But we do have plans to do stuff like that. We'll talk more about that.
And then we got to go back and have pizza with him.
We got to go back and have pizza.
He said yes, we can't break our promise now.
Yeah, have a picnic. So what was really interesting was like when we were starting to say goodbye. Like we were like, okay, maybe we can come back and do this picnic or whatever and have pizza. But what happened? Do you want to mention what happened when we were saying our goodbyes?
Again, another
coincidence
I guess, but like a flock of birds kind of flew over our heads in a way.
Yeah.
And almost at that time the wind kind of died down a bit.
It was a little weird.
The wind and the birds happened at almost like the same time. And it almost kind of felt like he
was like, okay, I'm done, bye. I was like, did that really happen? Is 45 minutes the longest that you have tried to connect with the spirit? You know what?
Well, at first we just kind of hung out with him. And
we
just
felt
took
like
it in.
for us together, yes. For both of us, this is a first for us, but we have had some stuff that we felt like we've dealt with in our own lives that were probably more personal, and I haven't timed stuff like that. It's just stuff like that felt spiritual or meaningful for me. Some of that stuff I don't think about the time, but for this we had to kind of keep up with the time because we were at a cemetery. Cemeteries close to a certain time, so we had to keep an eye on the time because we didn't want to be locked in there after the sun started.
And our bus schedule.
And our bus schedule.
I think the last bus, there's like 2 buses afterwards, so we had to make sure we got on one of those.
So, yeah. We did have to do that.
Yeah. And we took some time to just
chill.
It wasn't all...
It wasn't all of us just trying to communicate. No, we were just kind of just taking in the experience of just being there. It wasn't vibing, chilling with the place because it was chilly.
It was chilly.
It was cold. But when we were heading out,
and then we said we'll go have pizza in his honor.
That
was the last
did
thing.
Say
I think
that.
we said to him, "We'll go find the pizza place now and have pizza for you."
But after saying that, what was really funny was that outside of the cemetery gate, like when we were passing the gate there, we saw a pizza box on the ground that we didn't see before we went in there.
I don't remember seeing it on the way in.
No.
But it was there on the way out.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool.
That's a little sus. Maybe someone just decided to, some people litter and just drop their box.
Unless we were so into looking for his. We didn't
Who
think to look at the
knows?
ground and we walked right past it. But
Who
it
knows?
was definitely there on the way out.
Which was funny.
It was.
But yeah, it wasn't there before. But then like we looked it up. I was like, maybe we can go here.
We were gonna walk there, but I think it was like a 16 to 18-minute walk.
And we're like, no, we're not doing that. It's too cold for that.
And we weren't familiar with the buses. That was our first time there, so we wouldn't even know.
But luckily for us, just down the street across from there, like, was the Colonial Diner.
Oh, but before that, we did stop in the 7-Eleven.
Oh, we did stop in
and
the...
we got a slice of pizza.
We did stop
so
in the 7-Eleven.
we did keep our promise and get a slice of pizza for Joey.
Well, we wanted to do that, but also warmed up a little bit.
And warm up because it was really cold.
Yeah.
And at that point, we were looking for a place to eat. So we decided, let's get our pizza and look.
So we wanted a little snack, shared a piece of pizza, and then walked to the Colonial Diner, which was not far, just like throwing a stone, basically, just a few minutes.
Yeah, right across the street.
Right across from the cemetery. Our experience at that diner was pretty cute. It was
nice. It was a nice little diner.
Yeah. It was very festive at the time because this was close to like Christmas season.
Oh, yeah, they had Christmas decorations.
They had really cute. But even if they didn't have it decorated, it was cozy.
It had an old school vibe.
It did have an old school vibe. And the people that worked there were super friendly.
They were very nice, yes.
Yeah.
It looked like they had their regular customers that were talking very friendly to everybody.
Yeah, it looked like they knew people that were coming in and out. So it seemed like it was a friendly and cozy environment. The food was good.
Food was good.
Colonial Diner was nice.
I would go back again
if we did
get the chance. I'd go back to them again.
Yeah, so we would recommend that to anybody who happens to want to go to Joey Ramone's grave in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. Look for the Colonial Diner. It's a cozy little nice diner, kind of has that 50s vibe.
Yeah.
But leaving the diner, it was pretty dark.
We left. Yeah, we left at it was after 7, I think.
Yeah, it was.
It was already getting dark, and I think we had 2 buses to catch, and we missed one of them.
Yeah.
So we were getting a little.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we better get to our bus quick. Because the bus stop wasn't close either. It
was interesting when we were on our way. We were passing the cemetery because we're across the street from the cemetery, and we're on the street, like going from the diner to cross to the next street just to go like where we were trying to get to the bus.
Yeah.
So, but what was strange and interesting is like, well, it's not strange and interesting. It's like, it was just cold. I had fingerless gloves on. I had my hands in my pockets. I was like freezing walking because like as the night grows on, the temperatures drop. And passing the cemetery, what did you say? You felt?
2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times.
I could have sworn I thought it was your hand on my back, kind of nudging me forward. So I didn't say nothing because I just thought she's probably really cold. And then I think after the 3rd or 4th time, I was like, are you really cold, babe?
It's like, heck yeah, my hands are
in
in my
pocket. And I was like, and I think I asked you, are you like trying to nudge forward a bit? Should I move faster? And you were just like, yeah, because I thought you were trying to make me move faster.
No, I'm the one that was slow. I'm always like, when we're walking, he's walking ahead of me in most places. Not all the time.
I thought maybe you were chilly.
No, I was chilly. No, he doesn't walk ahead of me all the time. I'm just messing. But no, like this time, I mean, I'm cold. My hands are in my pocket. And I didn't know this was happening to him. And then he says this. He's like, oh, you shoved me?
I think I said something like, I could move faster if you want. And you're like, no, you're fine. I was like, aren't you like nudging my back to go quicker? And you're like, no.
No.
I was like, oh, someone was back there.
I don't know if we happen to make communication with Joey Ramone, if that's his way of saying like, hey guys, move it, hurry, get to your bus. I don't know.
Or go get my pizza.
Or go get my pizza.
Where's the pizza and beer, bro?
Where's the pizza and beer, bro? But yeah, so that was our experience. Do you have any final thoughts or?
No, I mean it was a great day out. We
final thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, we got to see Joey. That's
yes.
Always awesome. Favorite band of ours for a really long time, the Ramones.
But were you expecting to feel anything, or did you have hopes of experiencing something, or were you just kind of like, we'll see?
I mean, I was excited to go see Joey.
Yeah.
And I was open-minded to see what it would be like. I mean, I wasn't gonna go there like 100%. Something's definitely gonna.
Yeah.
You know, I like to keep an open mind though. If we get there and we can get something cool to happen while we're there, it definitely would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Well, even without it, the experience, Tony, just
exactly. See, that was how I felt. I was like, just to be able just to say, hey, we got to go, or we're going. That's how I felt, was we're gonna go. This is as close as we're gonna get.
It is Joey Ramone.
This is his resting spot. That's what I was thinking the whole time. Like, this is as close as we're gonna get, because this is his resting spot.
Yeah.
That was what kind of felt wow to me. It was
almost like a starstruck feeling.
It is,
the
yeah.
first scene, I was like, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Wow, hi Joey.
That's definitely how I felt. But oh, thank you. Great story.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, does anyone have any questions or comments before we start wrapping up anything? Because I think this is almost over now. But take it. Let it marinate in your mind if you do, and take a moment. But while you do think, if you do think of something, I will go ahead and say, earlier I mentioned we had the intentions of intuitive drawing or automatic drawing. And that's kind of just letting things write through, just do what comes to us naturally when we sketch. Don't even think about it, just kind of start drawing on our paper. But it was so cold, we didn't get to really do that. But we've had plans of, I'm sorry. Laura, can you ask that question one more time? Sorry, I missed your question. You didn't see it, did you?
I think she asked how we met.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a story within a story. So, yeah, we've just had a lot of stuff in common, some friendships already, and connections.
I think
Artworks and family, sister, and all that sort of deal. So, yeah, family, friends, community. So it's like different kinds of things. We listen to a lot of the same music, obviously.
Yes.
So that's another story for within another story.
And that pumpkin.
And the pumpkin.
The pumpkin carving.
Coconut coil.
Pumpkin, yes.
Pumpkin. Yes. Yeah. I think I'll try to get into more details on that another time. But yes, stories within stories. We've got so much in common. It's interesting to us. But we just share a lot of the same interests and people we know and that kind of thing, and it clicked. So people we're connected to. And then let's see, what did I say other than, the drawing. So yes, we wanted to do some intuitive art or automatic drawing, but we didn't do that too cold. But we do have a YouTube channel that exists, but we're working on. Oh, I'm gonna leave that as a surprise. Whose spirit will you connect with next? We don't know. We don't know if we will be able to communicate or connect. You know, it's just kind of experimental. It's more. See, here's the thing. We have a YouTube channel that we set up, and it's called Sketchy and Spooky Journeys. The @ symbol, if you type in the @ symbol, at Sketchy and Spooky Journeys, you can find that channel on YouTube. It's Sketchy and Spooky Journeys with Joey and Whitney. And we haven't done anything on there yet. It's brand new. But that's the thing about this site. It's not just going to be, we're not just going to do just paranormal stuff. We're going to, we have the intentions of going to locations or just kind of do a little bit of experiments with our drawings, like see what kind of automatically comes to us when we start drawing, automatic drawing for that kind of thing, and show each other in the end, like, what did you get when we started doing this in the end? But it's gonna be more about, like, how do we feel? How do we go connect with my spirit? I'm not dead yet. We are connecting with you, girl. We're talking to you. You're funny. But what was I saying about we're doing
The channel.
the channel? Yes. So we're going to use this channel to go to strange places, interesting places. It doesn't always necessarily have to be spooky but it's going to be interesting places and what we automatically find interesting enough to try to do those automatic drawings. What it doesn't make us feel, what connects in this mind's eye for us to put on paper, and then we'll kind of compare and contrast and talk about that with each other. It could be something from a fire hydrant or a piece of art in a park or something, but it could be a interesting monument or even nature.
We have mentioned Houdini.
We have mentioned, see, in our neck of the woods in Queens, it's not gonna be like, I've never done automatic drawing. What is that like? See, I haven't done that since I was a teenager, but I'm just getting back into it. And Joey, you said you've done it maybe a little bit when you were younger, right?
Maybe.
Maybe? Come on, you said maybe. All right.
I said maybe.
Well, anyway, it's more like just kind of, some people do it as therapy too. It's like they just kind of start putting the pencil or pen to paper and just kind of let their hand flow. It's automatic. You just kind of, some people feels it puts them in a meditative state. Some people feel like something can connect and make you do something. But I don't know. It just depends on every individual. Like, are you trying to feel like you're feeling something, a presence, or are you trying to kind of get in a meditative state? It depends on you're just kind of letting your mind go and let your hand flow with drawing it symbols, or even if it's squigglies or whatever. You can kind of go on YouTube or Google and kind of type it in, and you might be able to see images of what that stuff looks like. So it's sort of like a artistic and meditative challenge in a way for us. So, and let it see how it makes us feel and resonate in these areas that we want to go to. All right. Good night, Mom. Love you. Enjoyed it. Good night, my loves. That's so sweet. So, yeah, that's our intentions with, like I said, if you type in at Sketchy and Spooky Journeys here on YouTube, type in the @ symbol, that's how you'll find us. We need 50 followers in order for us to go live. So thanks to the 140 that are following me, but please navigate to this page so we can start doing some of this and share some of that with you guys. And then I'm gonna go ahead and say, if you're not subscribed to this channel, by the way, when I say subscribe, it's not gonna cost a thing. Like, just hit that subscribe button. Whatever we have on these channels, it's free. Some people think, oh, I gotta subscribe, do I have to pay anything? No, it doesn't cost a thing to subscribe to our channels while you're on my channel. And if you haven't, please subscribe to it. Again, type in that little @ symbol in YouTube, La Hechicera of Horror here on YouTube. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please do so with both of these channels. That one. And then that one. And then I promise this time I'll put them in the community page here. I didn't do it the last time on my last live, sorry. I've been a little busy. But I will also shout out for Joey, because if I'm going to take his drawing he did of Joey Ramone, and I'll put it on my community page. That way you guys can see this marvelous drawing of Joey Ramone. But also to see more of Joey's art, he does a lot of beautiful pencil sketches. And if you're interested in seeing more of his art, follow him at Joey_Letieri_NYC. Are you two a Munsters or the Addams Family fan more? I noticed Joey's shirt. For me, it's nice. Equal.
Yeah.
I like both. I don't like more one than the other, but for him, he's definitely a Team Lily, Team Munsters.
I would say I like both, but the Munsters more.
Yeah, see.
Munsters are a favorite for a long time.
Munsters are good. And then, and if you have anything, if you want to see my stuff, and if you're not looking at my website, I have more socials and sites there, www.tr.ee/Witscraft and Gore. And then again, I'll try to put these in my community stuff on my YouTube channel. That way you guys can have a better look. But no, that's, I guess that's all we have to share. But thanks to those who tuned into this live and listened to our experiences. So, all right, I guess we're out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye. All right,
Potato,
French
French fries.
fries. Bye.
Good
If
night.
I can get out of here. And